Simon Webb and Tony Holgate with you, and Tony was on time, which was nice.
I thought you were about to say, which was rare. I thought, I'm always here.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think they must have got lost somewhere around the reception area.
Yeah, it's actually quite a long way from the lobby to the main playing arena. It's at least 20 yards. But they are finally here, and we are finally ready to go. Shaun Chipperfield has the first opportunity. Tom Cousins has been there many, many times, as has Shaun Chipperfield, but from Tom Cousins' perspective, he's been there and he has taken down the titles on repeat. 10 titles now with Ultimate Pool. Shaun Story will be up in our second semi. Shaun Chipperfield has been in the semi-finals on repeat, but yet to make that big major breakthrough. Is now the time. It's a familiar foe in him in the semi here.
To be fair, there are a lot of Shauns on the Pro Tour. Shaun Sharkey.
Yeah,
should we play how many Shauns that we know that play pool?
Probably three. probably the three we've named.
Shaun O'Shaughnessy?
He's not on the tour.
No, he's not
on the tour.
Hello, he's not going to get there.
Oh dear. Oh, we can't believe it.
Somebody should have spent an extra hour in the gym this morning.
Yeah, that's a poor one. The frame was over. I mean, I was getting a little bit light-hearted because I was kind of thinking, well, the frame is done, and what a moment. And I have to say, I know it's very early. It's frame one in this match, but Shaun has been there before in the semis and struggled to make it through to the final. I mean, he's been in a huge number now, and it's been Tom Cousins in the final a couple of times as well. And for whatever reason, there seems to be a mental block for Shaun in the semi-finals, and I just wonder if losing this opening frame in the manner of losing this opening frame will do more damage than just one frame.
Why so soft? I mean, you could have...
Yeah, it didn't seem... I guess he was holding to leave the angle he wanted, but if you couldn't hold, then you can play for the higher angle, and I know that means you're not going to get right behind the 8-ball as easily, but it was just a really strange error.
That can happen when you play at the speed that Shaun Chipperfield does play at.
That one's gone wrong for Tom, but...
Long yellow.
He has a backup plan.
To be fair, when you made that remark there about having a mental block or not a good record against Tom, who does have a good record against Tom?
Declan Brennan's got a fabulous record against Tom Cousins.
Right.
Yeah, fabulous record. But you are right. I don't think it's a mental block against Tom. I just think that Shaun has an issue with... Look, the data tells us he's having an issue with semi-finals. It's not been... he's had... his record of converting semi-finals into finals is very poor. Okay. And he certainly has then, when he has got through, which I think is 2 times now, he's not been able to then go on and kick on and win the tournament as well. And this is a former world champion and a player that plays at such an elite level that now in 4 years of play, a guy that's been there or thereabouts in the top 10 of the rankings pretty much all the way through that 4 years has yet to win a title. It's quite surprising.
Yeah.
For my money, as we see Tom take this opening frame, for my money, it is the most surprising. As Shaun leaves the arena, it's the most surprising thing in terms of if you listed out all the players, which players would have won, wouldn't have won. He's the one that stands out the most to me.
Yeah.
If you had said to me the level he plays at, 4 years of play, I would have expected him to have 2 or 3 by now.
That's up there with following the black in over the bag sort of thing from 3 foot.
Or having a black bounce out in a deciding frame of a European Championships.
Yeah, I've never heard of anybody do that before.
No, but it's a tough one. Joking, because that happened to you, obviously, those that weren't with us earlier on commentary, just referencing a previous conversation. But, yeah, good news for him here. He's got it ball in hand to have first opportunity in frame 2 off a Tom Cousins break. If he clears up here, forget about what we've said, because that will be gone, and he'll just be into the match. But it does add some importance to this visit, and it's a good one as well. The chance is good. love to get back to the straight on the next one. Back to where he is now would be perfect. Doesn't want to overdo it.
That's fine.
Is he going into the reds though? Can he?
No, I think he goes straight into the side rail just before the corner bag. I think. I'm trying to look at that.
Yeah, I've got crane my neck here, and yeah, I think you're right. I think he has got just that turn the correct way. And he's pulling it back. So he didn't. So he was okay though.
He had the choice. There's just a bit where you think, well, this should be 2-0.
Yeah, he's got to not allow that come into his mind, though, has he? He needs to just, you know, when you make a mistake like that against any of the top pros, but especially against Tom Cousins, when he has the next break, you are immediately thinking, oh no, what have I done? This is 2-0, and all of a sudden. But now that he's got that opportunity in frame 2, you know, hopefully he can just forget about the air in frame 1, and instead of playing a race to 7, they're playing a race to 6. What a break. What a break that is.
Where's he going to land? Well, he's on the red. That's it.
He's unlucky. He is unlucky here.
There's a red tied up, isn't there, behind the yellow? Yeah.
I mean, he's welded it. He could probably pot a red here.
Yeah, but the saving grace is at least he can pot the red.
But considering how good that is, I mean, it's not a great chance, is it?
If that yellow was a little bit away from the cube, we could actually smash down and pot it and kick that one straight out. But
I wonder, he just called touching ball. I just wonder, can he pot the red at playing a yellow? And essentially that becomes a loss of turn. I think he called touching ball. No, he must have just said he was the red was touching the cushion then. I'm sure he pointed at it, but anyway, he's decided to go reds and he's got the cue ball back out. Yeah, because in that situation, if he's touching the yellow, he can essentially nominate yellows, pot the red, and then.
But surely you've got to pot yellow to be on them, haven't you?
Yes, but he can pot the red as if he says he nominates yellows and then pots the red, it becomes a loss of turn, and then it remains an open table essentially.
I don't think that would have been Shaun's style there.
Certainly not. And he knew he could get the cue ball out, and he just needed one angle, which he's got. But has he got it out far enough? It looks very tight. Certainly to top left. It goes top right.
I wouldn't be prepared to wager on it. Put it that way, but must go. Certainly the other tables, the old tables, I'd say would go.
Yeah, he's had a look at this from both sides. Twice he's had a look at it from the back, and well,
if it's that tight, he's not going to be playing at too much pace, then, is he?
No, you don't want to be pinching his pockets.
Well, there we are.
That's tough.
That tells its story. Well, it's a number 1 now back at the table. Yellows he's confronted with. They're just sizing up which way he's going to map his route around his finish. You feel that the frame is now dead.
This shouldn't be too much bother for the number 1. Nothing to really think about. Was he always wanting to leave the yellow over right centre? He's come up too far to take it because he'd be coming down the table. But I kind of saw him taking that yellow to get on the one he's just played, and then the one at the top comes his last ball. I mean, it's not it's not going to make any difference. I'm just kind of interested to if that was his original plan or he just overhit the shot. I mean, it's absolutely no issues whatsoever.
Little tad of left hand side just to strain up the cue ball a tiny bit. There's the customary Cousins amble round the table. He deposits the black ball, and he now leads Shaun Chipperfield 2 frames to 1 in this first semi-final.
He didn't start playing on the tour for the first year, so that's now in, and it took him, it'd take him better part of a year to win his first. So essentially, it's 10 so far in about 18 months, which is pretty incredible. And I'm not including the WPF World Masters that he won earlier this year in that either.
he certainly abandoned that cut break he started off with. He does change from here to there. He's got such a booming front ball break. He's got a nice split here. Looking at the yellows, the only place he's got to get, I mean the three at the top are gone. He's just got to get the cue ball past the middle on the left hand side onto that yellow into the bottom right hand corner, and that's the end of that frame. That's his only positional shot really, because he blocks out of there. The other yellow goes in the middle and he can choose where he wants to put the black.
Not guaranteed to get that angle though. There's a little bit of jeopardy on the first couple of shots here.
Plays the next one in. Well, I think he tried to get on there to play it in the middle next and then leave that angle to come down off the ball at the top.
Yeah.
So he's come a bit too far now. That makes it interesting.
It does.
As you can see, he's pulled a little bit of a face there. But yeah, that was his natural thing. Is just to leave the cue ball towards the top rail, not thin, but just if he could have punched it down past that middle bag, it'd have been perfect. But he's now having to reroute. This wasn't the plan, that's for sure. Little double kiss off that red, and he's the wrong side.
The big problem continues here. How do you get on the next ball?
Now this is the thing. You can't play any little cross doubles because that red's in the way, which would have been one avenue. So we're looking at a thin cut into the bottom corner with a load of right hand side. I don't know if he, with a new cloth like this, you could generate enough. He might have to just go in the middle and.
Well, he's on a ball. That's all he could hope for. Now he's got a pot and he's going to use the red to hold the cue ball.
Yeah, if he can hit this slight bit of right hand side, cut this yellow into the bottom right hand corner, cue ball off the bottom rail and just bump into that red that's near the back, but it has to bump into it, as obviously coming off the bottom rail, and he will hold for that yellow into the centre. But this is right up there off the top shelf, this one. Made the pot.
Gets the cue ball. Floated it in like it was nothing.
Yeah, that's a bit naughty, that. That's it's one of those when you see your opponent falling out of position, you're thinking, when you're sat in the chair, you're thinking, I'm going to get another go at these, and then he does that. A lot of players have been missing those sort of pots this last few days, but not Cousins.
Oh, he misses that one though.
But yeah.
Wow.
And he missed it by a fair old distance, hitting both jaws there.
It just landed a touch on the straight side. And he couldn't just drop it in or roll it through because he was going nowhere. So just tried to pinch it every so slightly and bring it back either right centre or top right corner. That means that Shaun Chipperfield gets to the table and he should win this frame.
Just opted for a safety hit. Now does he try and play a swerve shot? Depending on how much he can get around there. No, he's coming off the top rail.
Oh, he's made it. He's made it. He's made it.
Oh.
Would you believe it? Would you believe it? He snookered, but
Chippy's owed one though.
Yeah.
From his semi-final.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But then he snooked himself again. So
yeah.
Good news, bad news.
Yeah, he had a spicy one at 4-4 in the quarterfinals, didn't he?
Yeah.
Shaun.
Obscene is a fairly decent description, I think. Couldn't do it again, could he? Well, he's hit it. I'll tell you what, no,
it's
he
close.
hasn't.
It's close. It's
No.
close. It's close. Oh, wow. How?
Does he feel he's been robbed?
So unlucky.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my word. I mean, that is torture if your name's Shaun Chipperfield, but in the end, it all works out well. And I think, actually, it wouldn't have been too bad for Shaun. It was right down the line that he was looking at that. He would have known quite early that that 8 ball wasn't going in. A bit of a moment for him, and has he landed a bit straight here? He wanted to be able to get across the one on the cushion. I'm not sure if he can.
Well, I'd like to take the one he's nearest to and try and cut that one and then send a cue ball into the one on the rail. He did have the angle there. He's playing a double. Has a big bag, so as long as he doesn't go completely wide here and not the black in.
Right
Straight
in the heart.
I suggest he comes straight out for this one and has a red in the same pocket as the black. But no, opting for the longer red. In it goes.
I think it's one of those things that I could sit here and say he's moving on as long as he keeps getting chances. The minute he goes on a run here, you know, if he breaks dry and Tom maybe rattles off 2 on the trot, maybe he'll then sit there and think about it.
Well, he's kept the cue ball out, but
somehow,
yeah, it's not great, I don't think.
Thought the cue ball was in here.
Yeah, as much as I would say to anybody, you need to move on. Just erase it from your mind, and I'd be telling that to you or any other player, and I would be sat there still thinking about it. I'm telling you.
Some players great pot. Some players can do it, and some players can't.
The ones that can do it are the ones that win most of the tournaments. I think is probably a fair comment.
Okay, he's got his opening ball, he's got his colour set. Now it's trying to find a route, and talk all the time about every ball's got a pocket, then it's about finding the route, and that's the case here. Every ball does have a pocket, but the one near left centre is awkward. Connecting these together, it is awkward.
He finds himself behind. What a break that is. Ouch. Reds have come out nicely. This is a huge split from Cousins. Put everything into that.
Yeah, perfection, isn't it? Cue ball straight up the middle of the table. Huge power.
Taking on the thin cut red into the corner first. And he's got it, and he's moved the awkward black out in the same shot. That's a really good shot there from Tom Cousins. Red's now at his mercy. Very good shot from the number one. The two reds are fine up into that top right hand corner. They do plant. Whether Tom will move them, I don't think he will bother. So he moves them. Well, he's moved the yellow out of the way.
Move the yellow, hold on the red. You would like the yellow to have gone a touch further.
Is that yellow now in the way of the second red passing? Because that was a plant before, there's no question.
I think it is, yeah. I mean, I think the plant still goes, but I don't think he'll play that.
I mean, he can pot this and just screw out and kick that red away from that corner bag. Oh, he's just kicked the yellows out of the way. He's not going to glue, is he? Tight again. Tom won't tell you an awful lot when he's at the table. He's not one for sort of throwing the big grimaces, and he has to bend round this slightly. You see the spin on the keyboard there. He punched down and around. He's still not great. Has a shot into the middle bag.
This feels like the previous chance he had, where it just felt like he couldn't quite put the cue ball where he needed to make it easy. You've got to hit the white, Tom, not the red. So he's looking at red off yellow.
Yeah. I'm not convinced it wouldn't be my choice of shot. I'd still think I'd fancy myself to be able to plough that red into the centre pocket in a cut and get it the cue ball far enough to have a shot, but Tom thinks otherwise. And he's not caught the yellow.
Misses the yellow altogether, yeah. And that's no good.
Shaun Chipperfield takes these out to go 4-2. He'll be thinking it should be 5-1. Well, I would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little scratch to the head.
Maybe there's a reason you're here with me, Tony.
There's lots of reasons I'm here with you, to be fair, Simon. And that's just one of them.
That's not the best, is it?
I was about to say, I'm not convinced with that either. No. Can he get straight down to the bottom?
But even if he can, it doesn't give him a good line into this next ball. He really wants to be on the one right centre.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to play a
double.
Tom Cousin shot and move it, but he's gone for the double.
Oh, he's
bumps
so
that in.
on the doubles, isn't he?
But he's short. If he plays the one in the middle, the cue ball's going to be right down the bottom of the table, even with the slowest of cuts. He's gone to play a bit firmer.
Just shows you get one. First shot was slightly wrong, and it's just starting to spiral. And it means he has to cue one in here.
Well, this is the first time he's actually been in pretty good shape. But like you say, this part has to be made.
No problem, though.
Make it he does.
8 ball then for a 2-frame advantage, and no mistakes with that 8 ball. 4-2 he leads. Co-colleague here would think it should be 5-1, and thinks he'll still be thinking about it. The fact that it should be 5-1.
If I really wanted to go for it, it should be 6-0.
No, I mean it's one of those. I think that's gone.
You know, Shaun has been pretty good value here. He's been very, very good.
And he's broke well. The cue ball's been a little bit wild on the break, or once it was wild, once it got kicked towards it, but his break has been really good, and that's normally a big storyline for Shaun. His break can go wandering, and he can lose that cue ball to centre pockets when that shows that he can be off by a long way. But so far, throughout the tournament, he's been very good with the break.
I agree, because I do recall quite a few games that I've now commentated on Shaun Chipperfield, and when he has gone down, the Swanee, it's been largely due to a misfiring break. You know, I always have this vivid picture of him breaking dry and trudging back to his seat, looking deflated, and somebody mopping up a nice big easy finish that he's presented for them just by having a very good split with nothing going in.
Yeah, and he's chopped and changed a lot, hasn't he? Hand on the table and hand off the table, loop bridge, all that. He's tried it all and trying to find something, but for me, he just loses shape trying to hit it a little bit too hard at times. That's not come out.
Such a watchable player, though.
Big problem to solve. There's not really a good ball to play the breakout here.
No, he's got plenty to do. Has Shaun. So he wants this little angle into the middle. Come off the side rail and just kick this yellow away from the red.
Don't think he's far enough down the table. I think he could have done with being the other side of the break line. And then that shot's on, isn't it? One cushion, catch the yellow.
He's going with the power.
Yeah, brilliant. Had to really force it. That was excellent.
Yeah. The middles take them now with such force. As you see the pocket gobble up that red. Had a good cue ball as well, did Shaun. And he has a little angle to come down. Slightly hampered, but it shouldn't cause too much of a problem, he says. As
played big that ball, though. He wanted to slide by it and would have given him a choice of both balls, but now he's going to have to pull out a big shot. Probably can cut the one he's nearest to back to bottom right, but cue ball's going nowhere. And it's a horrible pot.
Plant? Does it go?
Well, it'd be a big plant, wouldn't it? It'd be huge.
It did go.
Yeah, some effort, but...
I was going to say, because he could have given it a little bit more that way.
Okay, so a second error in the match then for Shaun Chipperfield. That was for 5-2 as well.
Yeah, I'd be annoyed with that one. After playing such a good shot into the middle pocket as well and developing that red at the top. You know, you think that's the key shot that's opened up the frame. It's unlocked the chance. And then to pretty much throw the table back to your opponent within the next shot.
Big visit for Tom then. Get this one on.
This is a drill he set with the 2 yellows on the 2 rails and the one at the top. It's one of those, like, you know, can you knock this finish in from here? And
yeah, you got one over a pocket and one in the open to connect up 3 on cushions. A lot more jeopardy on this finish than there has been through the first 3.5 years with Ultimate Pool. This is a much tougher challenge.
Yeah, Tom rightly calling his extension. Wants to work this out because this is going to need some precision positioning for Top Cat. Well, he's gone to move it, and move it he has. But where's he landed? He looks a bit disappointed that he's not landed on the ball. I think he expected to land on that, because he's played it so well and he's caught it flush. And it's gone slightly to the right, so he can't cut it in there. That's too thin.
It just shows you Tom's thoughts, though, and the fact that he felt he had to move that ball rather than playing on it.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be too bad if that yellow wasn't in the way of a double, but having to play this thin cut along the top rail. Oh, that's a super pot. That really is a super shot from Tom.
Still needs another. You feel he's going to have to take this one on the cushion on.
Well, you want to play it now because that red's still top. I mean, does it go past the yellow at the top? It may well do.
I don't think so, and I think that's why he had a bit of freedom in the shot he just played.
He'll be playing the one on the rail now. Maybe he's playing for the double.
He is.
He is playing for the double. That tells you another story about these balls up and down the rails. Tom doesn't like them, not at all.
He said that on commentary before, or on interview before rather, and that he doesn't like them, and that's on the previous pockets. Now we got them tighter.
Really doesn't like them.
But if I always thought if he says he doesn't like them, what chance has the rest of us got?
Got to be careful with the cue ball here, because this could run onto the top rail, which would be an absolute nightmare. He's played it well by making sure he didn't get on the top rail. He's played it, for me, a little bit heavy, but he's okay. It's a bit thinner than he'd liked.
Oh, it's very thin.
The cue ball is going to hit that red, so there's a lot to think about here for Tom Cousins. Got to watch you don't get snookered beyond the other red.
He'll take it. He'll take it. That's an excellent shot.
Yeah. He actually got rid of the other one out of the way. He thought, well, I know I'm hitting into red, so I might as well smack into it and get it completely out of the way.
Ends up being a very good counter. Shaun Chipperfield may well have had thoughts of getting back to the table during that one, but not to be. One way or another, Top Cat gets the job done, gets back within one, and back on the break. It's his to go next. Missed opportunity for Shaun Chipperfield. Oh, that's just
needs the ball.
Absolutely insanely big.
Dry.
How is it dry? I mean, 8 ball going in doesn't count. Still 15 balls on the table after the break.
It's going to be Shaun Chipperfield that gets the first look at them.
Big cluster top right. That's the...
Yeah, I mean, yellows are the ball, obviously, because there's loads of reds in trouble. But, yeah, like you say, Simon, that cluster over at the right, it's got to be bumped into somewhere along the line.
If you could probably just roll through a turn or two on the one right centre, get the high angle on the, or the low angle on the one to top left into them. Former World Championship runner-up Tony Holgate has given me a thumbs up. That's the way he would go. Looks like that's the way that Shaun Chipperfield's going to go as well. Key shot coming up.
These are the shots. I mean, you don't want to play it softly, but you don't want to be well in it, because what you'll do is you're in danger then putting reds will move around and then cover other little parts of the table that you don't want them in. But then you've got to move these 2 reds and that yellow out enough to make them available. Well, this is all about if he can get through to that yellow at the top there. If he can, he's in great position.
I do think he can, but then what are you playing on afterwards? Because you're going into the red. I think you can turn it in or drop it in. Yeah, he can drop it in, so he's got a horrible shot down the table now.
Yeah, long. Well, you look at that ball now, he's got this long yellow that's next to the blue spot into this bottom corner. That's match ball. Well, not match ball, but it's frame ball. Frame ball. Because you really shouldn't miss the rest from there. And he missed that by several yards.
Oh, he's had a touch though.
Yeah.
He's had a touch.
Can Tom get to the red on the left? That'll be his only ball. You feel that he can play properly to make a pot. Nicely slotted into that corner by Tom. We'll take another look. Just put a little bit of drag spin on the cue ball. That we could hit it a bit firmer, but then slow the cue ball down as the spin takes in and just stops it. Wanted to be on that red that's on the left-hand rail. He's behind the yellow. Obviously, you can get to the red that's nearest to him, going up into the top left. But when he plays it, I think you're going to have to start thinking about maybe he has to play that last, and that'll be tough to get on.
It's also very unlike the way that Tom Cousins likes to play. He has a very simple MO, but simple to say, not easy to do, but that is attack his hardest ball on the table first, no matter where it is.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that red there, I mean, it has to be last now pretty much. I mean, you can roll it in and get on the black into the centre. So it's these 3 reds at the top. Anywhere over on that left-hand side of the table, you will have a clear view of that red. Whether he gets a position where he can get a bit greedy and get closer to it, all the better. But if he can't, he just has to take it and take it long. Well, he's having none of it.
That's an excellent shot. That's
it
fabulous.
is, but it's still tough.
I think the problem is with playing on it was one thing, but if then you've got to top through or punch out if you've got any angle to get on the 8. If the 8 ball went comfy bottom right, I think you're right. Absolutely would be in the way he goes, but
he really hates balls near rails. Yeah.
And I'm with you. I think a significant number.
I'll tell you what,
that's big for him as well. That yellow dropping in. I think. Going back to what I was about to say, that I think a significant number of the top pros would have left that then for the last ball, but Tom is just unbelievably aggressive at attacking his bad ball.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was surprised. I thought, right, there's nothing really you can do there because it's just too dangerous to come down there and attack that ball on that cushion. That is perfect. He has an angle and he can also play this nice and firm and screw the cue ball back sort of towards that right hand middle so he can leave himself a black into the bottom left, which he has done now. And this looking very much like 4 each.
For each it is. This was some shot though. That is just incredible shot. Brilliant vision to find it. The execution was excellent. It should be 5-3. It could be 6-2. And on balance of chances, it could be 6-2 for sure.
But the happier player is always the one that's just pulled level.
Yeah.
And if this goes dry,
it won't
Chippy
be.
Will be. Oh, we won't be. I was going to say we'll be very unhappy. But look at these reds.
When you don't hear that ball rattle straight away, you're thinking, "Oh no!" But look at this layout. It's as good as it gets for a player of Shaun Chipperfield's level, and that's where he should be positive. This is where mentality comes in. He's 4-4 against the best player in the world, and he's got. If he has 3 more breaks, if he deals with those 3 breaks, it doesn't matter what Tom does.
And you look at this layout. And it's the 3 reds on the right for me, and then the one in the middle. I would have been playing this ball last that he's playing now.
He's seen it a different way around, isn't he? He's thinking left centres last
I mean,
now.
This is fine, but
yeah, or he could go top right. I mean, the 8 ball being so near a pocket, you can actually go a number of different ways.
I just liked leaving the cue ball at the top and rolling that one in the centre and dribbling down for that other one rather than dribbling towards the black.
Yeah,
that's just preference. And obviously, I'm right. Yeah, terrible way to go, Shaun.
Yeah, really struggled with this route. No, just a different difference of opinion. And
absolutely. How many seconds was that frame?
Yeah, not very long at all, was it? And Shaun Chipperfield gets himself back in front 5-4. They've obviously had some big clashes since then, but yeah, the last time they met, it was 7-0 Harriet. So yeah, it'd be huge.
That was 3 days ago. Because I actually looked, because I was looking at all the scores in one of my breaks, and I was looking through the women's matches and seeing what was coming up, and I'd heard that Marion had drawn Harriet in the very first round. I thought, oof, because obviously Marion wasn't seeded, and then when I saw the score 7-0, I thought, has she not turned up and they've written that wrong? Was that a forfeit? Because I just couldn't believe that she won 7-0 against Marion. And then I saw one of the other girls, and I said, was that right? I think it might be an Amy or somebody. Said, yeah, it's 7-0. I said, Marion just really played really badly.
And she hasn't done today. She's made her way through to the final, and you can't keep a good player down. She'll be a very different proposition for Harriet in the final, no doubt. Dry break from Tom Cousins means that Shaun Chipperfield has a chance to run the match here. That really is how he'll be thinking. Don't let Tom back to the table. He should, and I only say should because he's a great player, get out here, and this is a brilliant chance, and then it's 6-4 in his break.
Starting to bully him now, look. Chippy.
He's made these look really simple, but he hasn't had to do any work in terms of breakouts or anything in the last 2 visits. Having been pulled back to 4-4 from 4-2, it is just 2 really good layouts on the trot for him, which is excellent. Just what he needed. And 6-4 in front he goes. 1 more required, and then it would be maybe the floodgates could open, but he's got to get to the final first. And well, it's never easy, is it? It's never easy. Dry break means Tom Cousins comes back.
But going back to what you're saying there, a player like Shaun Chipperfield, who thrives on confidence and fast-flowing pull, and when everything is going right, and you find that groove, it's almost as if you feel you can't miss. Everything you're going to touch is going to turn to gold. But then you get a dry break, you'll come and put the brakes on you.
Oh,
that's come out.
How hard did he hit that?
Very hard.
It's the first one I've seen all week, but it was absolutely hammered in at short range. Yeah.
Well,
that's big. That's big. What damage? Well, every ball goes here. Every ball is not easy. Certainly not easy when it's for the match, but this can be picked apart.
Shaun Chipperfield rightly using his extensions just to look at these, because they're certainly not a run-of-the-mill finish. I think you miscued there.
Slightly poor angle on this one now.
The ball just didn't look like it made natural contact then.
Yeah, the first one being slightly off. Now this one's slightly off. Tried to force an angle that wasn't quite there. Now he's thin. And the damage is done. 8 ball. And now blocks the red.
Pre for Cousins.
And that's all to do with the first shot.
Yep.
You say whether it was a little miscue or whether it's just a short of pace. Either way, it left him a bad angle that 2 shots later has snowballed into a major problem. Could he screw straight back now? No. I was wondering if he could screw straight back now into the yellow and take it to the bottom corner. Decided he can't. Still some hope here for Tom Cousins.
If he just wasn't so far at the table on the rail, if he had another ball's width this way, he could probably cut that and bring it into that direction.
Oh, fabulous. And he's got the perfect angle, I think, to be able to play short position.
Massive shot, that.
That was huge. Yeah, he's definitely got... he could have done with half a turn more. He can force it, though, I think. But if he's 1 ball higher, it's more of a controllable shot. The more you have to force it, the harder it gets.
Oh, is he on it in the middle? That's obscene. Yeah. That is absolutely obscene. What a positional shot that is.
Oh, this has been brilliant from Shaun Chipperfield. What a moment for him. Fabulous finish. Gave himself all the work, all the problems in the world, and just comes up with a moment of magic. Shaun Chipperfield defeats the #1 player. Tom Cousins walked away from this weekend without silverware, and he'll be back, but so will Shaun Chipperfield. This was special. Gave himself a lovely angle and then plays just a beautiful short position. And if he keeps playing like that, Shaun Chipperfield's going to be a major handful in the final, whoever he plays. But the story is, Shaun Chipperfield is through.